computer. Cool. So I'm Ashley Gibson, and I'm actually super excited to get to host this Zoom for you guys tonight. This is your, I guess you would call it your graduation Zoom, and it's really incredible because you committed a lot of time this month to these lessons and learning the content and just going way outside of your comfort zone, probably with inviting and having conversations with people and getting comfortable in your role as a coach, which is not always easy. And even though I've been coaching for 3.5, going on 4 years, I still remember what it feels like to be on the other side of this Zoom line and to be kind of, I guess, a wide-eyed, brand new baby coach. So I really love getting to talk to 1.0 coaches specifically, because you guys are, I mean, you're really the future of what we do. And if I can sow some seeds of just, I guess, confidence into you that you'll stick this out over the long haul, then I know I've done my job. So a little bit about me. I live in South Carolina. I'm a Star Diamond coach. I've been coaching it'll be 4 years in August, so 3.5 years. I got started with this because I actually lived in Alpena, Michigan, where Trina and my sponsor, Tracy Granada, are from. So I went to their gym, and I hated the concept of coaching. I hated the concept of Shakeology or Beachbody in general. And the only reason I tried Shakeology is because it was part of a boot camp I paid for. So I paid for this lifting boot camp, and after the workout, you got to shake. And so I wasn't going to pass up something for free, and I tried it, which led to me being a discount coach, which led to me saying yes to kind of piloting the first round of Rock the Basics and agreeing to be a test coach in this training. And as soon as I took the training, I saw the immense value that coaching was as a business, and I kind of just ran full force. And so it's kind of funny that I get to talk to you guys today as your graduation Zoom, because my husband is in the military. He's in the Marine Corps, and just today I was able to apply and get approved for a mortgage for my parents to buy a home in Arizona. So I'm basically I'm getting the mortgage for my parents just solely on my income. My husband was not a co-applicant at all, and we used to be a one-income family 3.5 years ago. So that's kind of an insight into what this business can do for you if you really grab hold of it. I don't know what else is. It's been really fun. It's been really challenging. It's been really rewarding. It's been really frustrating. It's been like every emotion under the sun. But ultimately, it is my dream job, and I know that it can be that for you guys too. So I want to get to know you guys a little bit better, and I'm just going to kind of call you out. So if you could unmute your line. Elena, where are you from, and who's your Star Diamond upline?
Hi, I'm from Stoneham, Massachusetts, right outside of Boston. And Trina is my upline Star Diamond, and Ryan Sykes is my sponsor coach.
Okay, cool. You're in great hands. And how long have you been coaching?
I already did my 5-day clean eating starting the 9th. So that was my first real coaching experience. And I came on as a coach, and I did my first challenge group right after Thanksgiving.
Okay, cool. So you already have a challenge group under your belt.
Yeah.
And how did it go?
It was okay. I think I'm running into a lot of roadblocks with my friends already being in a Beachbody program or having a coach or having done it and it didn't work out for them. And, I explained to them, every coach is different and they could do different things and, you should give it a try again. But that's sort of been the sticking point there. And I'm actually getting ready to do my second actual real challenge starting on the 30th. And I'm still seeing that as a sticking point. That and getting people to actually want to spend the money to invest in themselves for it.
Okay, so just by show of hands, who else has ran into that roadblock? Okay, Emily, Amanda, it's pretty common what you're sharing, Elena. So sometimes it's just good to know that we're all in the same company. I've been doing this for a long time and I still run into that. So we'll go into that in a second. Do you guys hear some really like bad feedback on my audio?
A little bit. I feel like I'm echoing.
It might be you're echoing, but certainly that whole issue of my friends have already been exposed to coaching or exposed to a challenge group. That's a real thing, and we're going to talk about that as we get into the Zoom. But I'm glad you made time for tonight, because anyone who's on this graduation call is taking this business seriously. So I'm going to speak to you guys like serious business builders throughout this call. I'm going to mute you, Elena, just to see if that helps with the audio. Let's see. Okay. Nicolette, how about you? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Northwest Indiana. Did you hear me?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
I'm calling from Northwest Indiana.
Cool. And who's your diamond upline?
Jenny Apiag, I think it's her last name.
Yeah. Okay. I know Jenny. Cool. So you're on Lindsay Thompson's team, ultimately.
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. And how long have you been coaching?
Since December 19th.
What do you think so far? You're like 1 month in. How do you feel about it?
I like it. It's just right now it's just trying to get my friends to do it. And they're like, oh, no, it's too hard. So what I've been doing is just like writing Shakeology for them and then just getting them used to it. And then they joined a couple of challenge groups with me.
So you're buying Shakeology for them and they're purchasing it from you, or it's a gift?
It's a gift.
Wow. Okay. So how is that working? Like when you give it to them, how are they responding? Are they drinking it? They're
drinking it. They're telling me they like it. So it's great.
Okay, so what Nicolette is doing is something I did certainly early on in my coaching career, giving free samples. And it helped a lot because I guess sometimes people just don't trust what you're offering until they've tried it. Not everybody is in that position, and I actually switched gears and I charge for samples. It's not, I'm so sorry about the feedback. If you guys can like struggle through it with me, I don't have anywhere else to go because my house is like 20 minutes away, so I don't know why it's sounding like this. But even if you just charge $2 for a packet, if somebody pays for something, they're going to see it as more valuable than if you give it to them. Does that make sense? Like, I used to give away samples all the time, and it definitely worked out for me in many cases. But in some cases, people just it was given, so they didn't try it or they didn't see the value in it. And so even if a packet cost me $4 as a coach, I might only sell it to them for $2, but the fact that they've transferred something monetary in exchange for it makes them feel like it's important. So you guys you have access to sample packs, and you guys don't have to sell them, at cost if you want to give friends and family a break. But I would say, sell them for something. That way when people purchase them from you, they feel like they're purchasing something of value rather than something that can be given. Does that make sense? If I have a current customer, though, I'll say this. If I have a current customer and they're like, oh, I've been drinking vanilla for 15 days and I'm really curious about cafe latte, I'll send them that for free. I'm not going to charge them for that because they understand the value at that point. But I don't want you guys to spend a lot of money giving away product because someone will at least pay $2, $3 for a packet. They're going to feel like it's more important than, just here's this free thing. At least that's what has happened in my experience. And the whole point of this Zoom is to just share what's worked well and what hasn't. And I find that when I charge someone even a little bit of money and they're willing to pay that little bit of money, they will turn into a customer sooner than somebody that I've given something for free to. Because then you set them up for expecting free things from you all the time. And you guys own a business. That's really cool. Like, it's not 1970 anymore. You don't have to have a building, a brick and mortar building, to be a business owner. You can own your own company in an online space. And so all of you on Zoom, own a fitness business and you should charge for your services because you're giving your time, you're taking it away from kids. I think Emily had a baby on her lap. You're taking away from your husband to be here tonight, and this time is valuable. So the sooner you start treating this like a business and you are the business owner, the more people will respond to you as such over time. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Chat box is down there, so make sure you chat your questions as we go through this. But let's see, Hannah, you're on. Where are you calling from, Hannah? Oh wait, I can't hear you yet. Can't hear you still. Try one more time. Look at your settings. Let's see. Oh, no, I don't. Oh, shoot. Hannah, go ahead and just drop us a line in the chat box. I'm going to jump to Emily. Emily, you had a baby on your lap, right? You sacrificed some time to be on this tonight. Was that you with the kid? Cool. Can you introduce yourself?
That was me.
Awesome. So how old is I'm so sorry. I didn't see if it was a little boy or a little girl.
It's a girl. She is 18 months.
18 months. And how long have you been coaching?
I have been coaching since October.
Awesome. And how do you feel about it so far? Like, what has been some wins and what are you struggling with?
I'm loving it so far. I have been pretty successful, I feel like, in my first few months as a coach. I am starting to struggle with building my social media and kind of building my own avatar. But other than that, I feel like it's going really well.
Okay, awesome. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is please use that chat feature, and anything that you see as a roadblock or something you're struggling with, or even something that you learned, can you chat it, and we'll address it throughout this meeting. But I really wanted to talk to you guys tonight just about staying the course, because you're all new coaches, fairly new, being in 1.0. Has anyone been coaching for longer than 6 months that's on this call? Okay. Oh, and Heather's got a baby too. Jessica and Heather. Okay. Jessica, how long have you been coaching?
I've been coaching about 1.5 years.
Okay, so you're just going back through 1.0 to kind of reignite the fire and brush up on lessons.
Yes,
Okay.
because I've been more discount for a while and just changing things around.
Cool. I mean, isn't that the beauty of this business, that anyone can transition between hobby, discount, business builder whenever they want? So that's cool. Heather, how long have you been coaching?
5 months.
Okay, cool. So I think definitely Jessica takes the cake with 1.5 years on this call. But what I want you guys to think about is today is January 23rd, 2017. So whether you use a virtual calendar like a Google Calendar or something pen and paper, I want you to find January 23rd, 2018 and just circle it in a bold red marker and commit to being here a year from now. Because when I look around at the scope of the company, Beachbody, and of course the coaching network in general, there's really no difference between successful coaches and brand new coaches. It's not like they have some sort of special talent or knowledge that nobody else has. It's just that they decided to stick it out, like long term. It wasn't just, okay, I'm going to see how this goes until it gets frustrating or until enough people say no to me or until enough people make me feel bad about being in network marketing. I just deciding to do this until it succeeds. And I know that's how it was in my mind. Like, it took me a while. I was a discount coach, but when I went through Rock the Basics and I saw the value that was here, I just decided. And I was willing to go balls to the wall until I found success. And some of my best friends from high school, my own sister, my own husband kind of tried to tear me down and redirect me. but I had already decided in myself that this was something worth pursuing. And you'll see that across the board from top coaches. It's not that they have anything different than you have right now, other than the decision factor that they're going to walk out this mission until it succeeds. It's not about, I'm just going to dabble with this and see if it works. Successful coaches don't dabble. They believe it's going to work when they keep working it. So I really want you guys to find that January 23rd, 2018, and circle it bold and just decide, like, from today until then, you're going to get balls to the wall and you're going to figure it out, and you're going to be resourceful, and you're going to get frustrated when people say no to you, or a coach quits, or a challenger returns the method of Shakeology, but you're not going to let it keep you down. You're going to think about this like a business, like a real brick and mortar business. Can you guys use the chat, or go ahead and unmute and just kind of share with me some of your favorite franchises? Like, when you think of a franchise, what's your favorite one? I love seeing you think hard. Amanda, can you think of a franchise?
I live in a really small town, so all that's popping in my head is McDonald's, and that's horrible.
That's not horrible, because that's like the most successful franchise in the nation. Where do you live, Amanda?
Eagle River, Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin.
So are you on, whose team are you on?
My coach is Brittany. My diamond upline is Teresa Schroeder.
Okay.
And then we're on Trina's.
Okay, I was going to say Teresa. Chick-fil-A. Thank you, Allison, for saying Chick-fil-A, because I live in the South, and I have never lived somewhere where people will literally come a line into the street that is an hour long to order Chick-fil-A. Like, Southerners stinking love Chick-fil-A, and I, as a Michigander, I can't comprehend it, but they do. So I know in my town, if I opened another Chick-fil-A across town, I would be super successful. Like, people love that down here. Chili's, secretly, ever since I got married in Hawaii, I've wanted to own my own frozen yogurt shop, and Menchie's is one of the top frozen yogurt franchises. But in any of these cases, if we wanted to open a franchise, we're going to spend upwards of $100,000. We're going to be locked into the, I guess, branding requirements or rules for our franchise, and then we're tied, like, chained to that business, that physical location. And with this company, you guys get to franchise yourself. You've already opened your business, you've opened your storefront, but you get to still be creative. You get to work it on your terms. You get to incorporate the aspects about health and fitness that resonate with you, and you get to leave out what doesn't. Like I always share with moms, you will never ever see on my business page something like nothing tastes as good as Skinny Feels, because I happen to think that red wine tastes as good as Skinny Feels, and it's more about balance, right? So we get to include what we want to and leave out what we don't, and we have complete creative freedom within the company, which is cool. But the problem is that when we're recruiting, we get to recruit people for only $39 to set up their storefront, or maybe $140 if they bought a challenge pack. And that's like an incentive, a low cost, a low barrier to entry for a marketplace or for a business. But at the same time, it shoots us in the foot, because if you took out a $100,000 loan and went through all the corporate hoops of opening a Chick-fil-A, like, I would bet your family that you're going to be in that store every single day figuring it out, right? You're not going to let your home go to foreclosure. You're not going to let, hold on, it says unstable internet. Can you guys still hear me? Cool. You're not going to let, like, your employees just not show up. You're not going to have your doors open on some days and then just, like, randomly shut them down the next. You're going to treat it like a legitimate business. And the only difference between coaches who succeed in what we're doing and those who don't is that people will show up to this short term while it's fun, while their closest friends and family are saying yes, and then as soon as they hit a hiccup, they're out because it's frustrating, and they don't want to do it anymore, and they don't want to hear no anymore, and they don't want to have to explain why Shakeology is valuable anymore, and they're just done. And so it's easy to walk away from something like this when all you've invested is $40 for something that you would drink anyway, right? Like, that's easy to set aside. But if you are invested in Beachbody, like you would invest in a true franchise, you wouldn't walk away that easily. You would keep your doors open for a year or 2 years, and you would find the right talent. You would recruit the right people to work in your storefront. You would figure out a way to market yourself in your area that is attractive to people, and you would offer customer service that is above and beyond what your counterpart is doing, like what McDonald's across the street is doing. You're going to set yourself apart by the value that you deliver, and this is no different. You guys have to think about it the exact same way. So when we hear about coaches complaining that the market is too saturated, or your friends they've done a challenge group and it didn't go well, or they had a coach and, you know, they're just kind of jaded by the whole idea of a challenge group or Beachbody, like, this is your moment to differentiate yourself. Like, you say, hey, Emily, like, I know your experience in your last challenge group was kind of crappy, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. Not everybody does coaching the right way. Would you be willing to look a second time at what an online challenge can do for you and work with me as your coach? If at the end of the 30 days, you know, you're not satisfied, you still get your money back. But I want to prove to you that this company is real and the results we deliver are real. And I'm really sorry that you had a bad experience, but your experience with me is not going to be the same way. I can't tell you how many like customers and coaches I've won over who have had a bad experience, and because I over-deliver, they end up coming around to the idea of working with Beachbody long-term, or even becoming a coach themselves. So you guys have the complete edge. What I used to tell myself is, I don't have to be the best at this. I just have to outlast everyone else who's going to quit, because people are going to quit. Like, I'm not going to point any fingers or call anybody out, but we have we have 12 people on this call. If I were to say how many people are still going to be here a year from now, probably 4. What's the differentiating factor? It's, do you have deep down desire to pursue this, even when it's uncomfortable or frustrating, or you're sitting at a coffee shop at 8:30 at night instead of across the street? Like, literally right now, my friends are celebrating a marathon and they're across the street at a wine party that I left to come here and Zoom. That's how much like this group and this business means to me. I was like, sure, no brainer. I will go across the street to where there's Wi-Fi to Zoom with these 1.0 coaches, because I know the sacrifice it takes to be successful. When you understand the sacrifice and you're willing to just do it, then you get to long-term reap the benefits of that person who is willing to do what other people won't short-term, so you can live like other people don't in the long run, right? And that's the greatest part of this company, is you get to set the rules, but only you can set them. Teresa's not going to show up in your house. Diane Sykes is not going to show up in your house. I'm not going to show up in your house to make you apply what you've learned, to invite, to do your workouts, to figure out, you know, creative ways to present yourself in the marketplace. Nobody's going to do that. It's you. And that $39 low barrier to entry fee is not going to propel you to try and recoup that investment. So you have to find something within yourself that's greater than $39, that's greater than making an extra $100 a month, that's greater than even making $1,000 a month, and just do it every day. Does that make sense? I think that really where we do a lot of coaches a harsh disservice is by saying that this business is fun all the time. And if I'm going to level with you as a Star Diamond leader, a lot of times coaching feels like running a Chick-fil-A. There are days that you don't freaking want to show up and put fries in the fryer. Like, you would rather sleep in, you would rather just hang out with your friends or family. But there's work to be done, right? And if that line of cars is going to get their crinkle cut fries, somebody has to be there to deliver them. And so you show up anyway. And that's the same thing with coaching, except for the problem lies in when you're at home and your laptop is like just far enough that you can't reach it. It's like right on the kitchen counter and you're already on the couch. You're like, I don't need to grab that today. I don't need to check in with those challengers or send that last invite or share my transformation one more time because people already got it, or I'll do it tomorrow. Meanwhile, while you're waiting for tomorrow, somebody else is hustling. So you got to be the person who hustles. Like, even when your friends are across the street at a wine bar and you're kind of like, I didn't get to try that second glass of Cabernet, but I'll go back after the call. I'm just kidding. So if you guys were to say, like, what most excites you about this opportunity, can you, like, whoever wants to unmute or drop it in the comments. And Hannah, I do see your question, so we'll get back to that. But, like, somebody go ahead and unmute your line. What most excites you about coaching? Like, what do you get up and then, oh yeah, I get to do this?
Hi.
I guess I'm.
Just somebody else talking. I don't know if it's working or not. Can you hear me?
Hold on. Okay, so I hear Heidi. And okay, so Heidi, go ahead and talk, and then I'm going to go to you, Emily, for some overlap. Okay, so Heidi, go ahead.
Well, the traveling opportunity is what really got me excited about getting into this business. I want to be able to travel, and if I can do it, earn it through Success Club points, that really excites me. So, and then I would eventually like to quit my full-time job and be able to be at home and be able to set my own schedule more so, as opposed to just being at the mercy of my 9-to-5 job.
And what is your
7:30 to 5 job?
What is your 7:30 to 5 job?
I'm a veterinary technician. I actually take care of monkeys at a primate center.
Oh, wow. So where do you live that you do that?
I live near Portland, Oregon, on the West Coast.
So are you on Shelly's team or Natalie's team?
My upline diamond is April Krubel.
Okay, so that's Natalie's. Natalie would be your star diamond, right?
Well, above April is Jessica.
Okay, Jessica.
And then I think Stephanie's above Jessica.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I guess if you guys aren't familiar with Alpena, I'm sure you've heard Trina talk about it. It's like this tiny, I don't know why anybody lives there, fishing village, like on the edge of the world, almost literally. And we were there for 3 years for my husband's duty station, and there was like, I don't know, felt like 90 coaches in this town of 12,000 people already when I signed up. To talk about the market being saturated. And I used to always see like Sarah Morrison and Trina and my upline Tracy posting about these trips. And I was like slightly jealous, but mostly just cynical, like nobody is traveling like that for work. They're just like making up stories to make themselves look better. And then when I was a brand new coach, coaching for only 4 months, the first Success Club trip sign up came around. And I just put my name on it. And this is what you all need to do, is you need to sign up for something on the calendar that's at least 6 months out. So right now, the best thing you guys can do is sign up for Summit, right? And just say, I'm going to go balls to the wall from now until mid-July when Summit is. And I'm going to get to Summit. And if by Summit, I don't feel like this business is working for me, then I can start to complain. But not until then. So I always found things that were in the future for me to do, and the Success Club trip was one of them. And I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. Cool. Okay, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to those real quick. But the Success Club trip was just one, and then since becoming a coach, because I gave myself a futuristic goal, I've earned every trip. And I was like, wow, Sarah and Tracy and Trina, they're not making this stuff up. This is very real, like, travel incentives. And all I have to do is help 3 people a month. I think that this business is easier to do if you give yourself long-term goals that are semi-numerical, meaning Success Club is a numerical goal. Everyone can measure every month. You help 3 people, you're in Success Club. Right now with the challenge pack, the the all-inclusive on-demand challenge pack, you really only need to help 2 people, which is amazing. Because you help 2 people, you make $140 and you're in Success Club. That's a pretty good deal. I wish they had that when I was a new coach. So give yourself something long-term that you can sign up for, invest in, because if you put the money there, if you circle that date on the calendar and ask for the time off work or ask your husband to watch the kids while you're gone, then you're going to be more invested from now until July or from now until the Success trip next year to really make this work. You've already committed to it. And they bill for those trips every quarter. You don't want to get stuck paying $600 a month towards your cruise room or your vacation room, right? You're going to hustle to make it happen. So knowing that travel incentives are real, Success Club is a very real way to grow your business the fastest. And it's also something you can numerically measure is important. So just be very aware of what's upcoming in the company, whether it be Summit, Success Club trips, Super Saturday, upcoming, put it on your calendar and make every effort you can to be there. Because if you can schedule yourself to be at the events, you will be much more successful in coaching long term. But I like that Heidi brought that up because travel is like one of my favorite things, and it's something we never got to do as a single income military family. So, okay, Emily, let's go to what you guys are having trouble with.
All right. Can you hear me? My internet goes bad once in a while.
I can hear you right now. Yes.
The thing that I'm most excited about is just I love being surrounded by so many positive people and so many people that are just ready to go for it and ready to try something new. And so that's what excites me. And just being able to work around whatever schedule I need, right? And being able to just fit it into my life. I really like that.
And where do you live? Because I saw you wrote that you have trouble differentiating yourself from other coaches.
I think it was someone else. But I live in Rubicon, Wisconsin. And I don't know many coaches. So,
okay, so that was the other Emily. Okay. And hold on. Amanda has lost 30 pounds since October. Where are you, Amanda? Oh my God, that's amazing. How do you feel?
Lighter. No, I'm just kidding. I feel great. I have more energy. I'm out sledding with the kids and it's fun. And yeah, I just feel good.
Okay, that's incredible. Do you guys see how different personalities are all on this call and everybody works together? So that must have been Amanda Brown's or Emily Brown's differentiating yourself from other coaches. Okay. How do I approach this the right way? In Alpena, there was a ton of coaches all around me, everywhere. We were all on the same team, too. We were all on Trina's team, Team Rockstar Fit, right? So we couldn't even use different attributes of the teams to attract people because it was the same. Everyone was going to be a part of Team Rockstar Fit. Here in Beaufort, there are other Star Diamonds in my town, and Beaufort's not a much larger town than Alpena, not really. And so they're all on other teams. And do you guys know who Summer Tucker is? She's one of my favorites. She's a 15-star diamond. She's a 15-star diamond military spouse, very successful million-dollar club earner in the network. And she just last summer built her home a mile from my house and then moved here. So I already felt like I kind of established a niche in my town. We have a lot of running communities, military wives. I felt like, I guess for like lack of a better word, that I ran the show. I don't mean ran the show, but people knew my name in Beachbody for Beaufort. Like, and then Summer Tucker moved here, and I don't hold a candle to what she's done. So I was so super intimidated because she's got this huge team. She's a $1 million earner. She's a 15-star diamond, and now she lives like I can see her house, and it's gorgeous. So it really kind of made me want to withdraw from what I was doing. But the best way you can differentiate yourself from other coaches, and this is the number one tip that I want you guys to walk away from this call with, stop following other coaches. I don't follow any coaches anymore. Like, if you ask me what even other people on Team Rockstar Fit were doing, I couldn't tell you. The only people I follow are my personally sponsored coaches or my direct team. So if you're following other coaches, then you are going to start to feel like you can't stand out. You're going to start to feel like somebody else is doing this better than you, and that you don't have a platform to share your story, to share your business, to attract customers. And it's just it's very self-defeating to follow a bunch of other coaches. So don't friend request a ton of people that you're in Rock the Basics with. Don't friend request everyone on your team. If you do, unfollow them. Because if you guys think about it, if you're following a bunch of coaches on Facebook, their stuff is in your newsfeed and it's taking up space from people you could actually work with. You're not trying to reach other coaches. You're trying to reach your friends and family and their friends and family, people who aren't connected. So if your newsfeed has more than one coach in it, you haven't weeded out your newsfeed enough. You should follow your upline, maybe your Star Diamond upline, maybe 2 other people you admire, a total of 4 coaches. Otherwise, you're going to feel inadequate at all times of the day if your newsfeed is full of coaches. So that's the first thing you can do to start separating yourself from the herd, is just stop following other coaches. And then always just share your authentic voice. You hear this over and over and over again, but you have something that will resonate with people differently than I would. For example, I'm just going to make this up. I'm just going to totally make this example up because I don't know Nicolette. But if she's a single mom and she's, maybe trying to work through the pain of her divorce. I'm totally making this up. Nicolette's probably married. I think I see her ring. So I'm just making this up for an example. But she might totally resonate with women who are going through a divorce, becoming single moms, trying to work in their fitness, and that's something I can't speak to, and people don't relate to me that way. So the more authentic and vulnerable you can be with your story, the more relatable you are, and the more you stand out. Amy Silverman talked on today's National Wake Up Call, and the reason she's successful is because she is basically naked in front of the crowd. I mean, sometimes literally in some of her pictures on the beach, but more so figuratively. She doesn't leave anything uncovered. She's who she is. If you don't like it, you're not for her. If you do like it, then you will follow her bandwagon all the way to wherever it's going. And when I was a brand new coach, I used to try to appeal to everyone, whether they were women, men, moms, super into fitness, whatever. I just wanted their business. When my voice became very specific in terms of, I'm a mom, I'm a military spouse, I talk a lot about my faith, I talk a lot about even things like emotional eating or even my political beliefs, I would really tread lightly on that, especially this time of year. But people know who I am, and the more they know who I am, the more they trust me, and it sets me apart from the pack. Does that make sense? If you guys are hiding behind this recipe of the week, or trying to find this detox water, or trying to do coaching stuff, if you're searching for Pinterest for ideas instead of just what's actually going through your mind, then you are blending in. If you're willing to share what's actually going through your mind and what's going on in your life, then you are standing out. Much different. You don't have to be perfect to be purposeful in your message. Tomorrow morning when I do Body Beast, I'm going to probably share about how we had chocolate fondue and wine and whatever for girls' night, and I still woke up and did my workout. That won't resonate with people who are trying to be bikini competitors, but it'll resonate with moms who want to feel good about doing their workout, but also want to enjoy time out with their friends. The same thing if I'm trying to lose 100 pounds and I talk about how it's a struggle to go out to eat with my family because they're all also overweight and just sort of making bad choices, but I'm trying to be the one who's ordering a salad, and I talk about how the struggle is real. That resonates with that demographic of people. So the sooner you can share who you actually are rather than sharing what you think a Beachbody coach should be is when you will start sticking out from the pack. And everybody has something unique in their story that's going to resonate with someone. And actually, all of the coaches in your newsfeed and the people talking about Beachbody and how saturated the market is really does you a favor. Because if you think about it, people are being exposed to our workout programs, the concept of Shakeology, the concept of at-home fitness all day, every day. But they might not be actually following through with a purchase decision until they see somebody who they like, know, and trust to do it with. And if you can become the person that they like, know, and trust the fastest, you will be successful. So I'm going to read these comments really quick. If anyone wants to add something to that, go ahead and unmute. Okay. For those who decline due to money. Hannah, are you in college?
No, not anymore. Like 3 years out.
So you're just in your young 20s.
Yeah.
Okay. Jessica's going to be Summit by Diamond. Okay, so, and Emily, you were a teen mom. Oh my God, I love it. So that's a story you should be sharing like freaking all the time. You're a teen mom who got your degree and found yourself, and yeah, you should be sharing that story all the time. Okay, so one thing that I always did in my business that is different than what you'll hear is I did a lot of free groups, and I let people join my groups for free. I kind of look at my customers as a long-term relationship where I need to date them. They need to get to know me before they trust me. So you'll hear coaches say, like, don't ever let someone in your group unless they get Shakeology or Challenge Pack. I would let people in my group, even if they couldn't afford it, and just say, hey, that's okay, participate with, going for a walk or going to your free gym at college or whatever, and just follow along with the content. Now, I wouldn't let them do that all year. It would be like a couple of months, 2 months at the most, and then I would say, hey, Jessica, I've really enjoyed you in my groups. I hope you've enjoyed them too. I know you've lost 5 pounds, and you talk about how great you feel. This group in February is only for paid challengers. Are you ready to commit to Shakeology? But by that point, they've already gotten to know me and gotten to understand the value of a challenge group versus if I say, hey, Jessica, you have to spend $140 or I'm not letting you in my group. Do you see how different that is? Like, people don't know what we're doing all the time. They don't get it. They don't want to spend over $100. And so when we say, oh, I'm so sorry, this challenge requires a challenge pack. If you don't purchase it, you can't participate. You might have just turned them off from working with you forever. Versus if you say, sure, jump in, check this out for 5 days. Only the first 5 days of my group are free. And then I just take out everybody who hasn't committed to a challenge pack for the remainder of the group. Like say it's a 21-day. And at least they get to see you, get to know the value, get to see some of the benefits of working in a group, and then they can decide the next month that the investment is worth it. Like for February, I'll just share with you what I'm personally doing. We're doing a 21-day challenge with 4 different options to join. The first option is free, but if you choose the free option, you only get to do the first 5 days of the group, and then I remove everyone. Before I remove them, they'll be given a choice to upgrade and stay in. They can upgrade to a 7-day sampler pack or start with a 7-day sampler pack. If you start with the super sampler pack, then you get 10 days of my group, all my coaching, access to the meal plans, everything for 10 days. And after the 10 days are up, you can decide if you want to upgrade to a challenge pack or Shakeology for the month and stay in the group, or I'll take them out. The third option is the All Access On Demand for $99. If they do the third option, they stay in the group all 21 days. They do the fourth option, which is a challenge pack, they stay in the group all 21 days. So either option gets them 21 days of working with me, but they don't have to start right with the challenge pack. They can upgrade as they go. And the reason I'm doing that is because it puts pressure on me as the coach to, in those first 5 days, deliver exceptional content and value. Be checking in with my challengers, be giving them, like fun little, contests or giveaways, or just showing them what it's like to work with me. I have to put my best foot forward if I want these freebie people to convert to a sampler pack or even a challenge pack. And then it also takes off the pressure because I only have to do one group. Instead of hosting a free group and a 21-day group, they're combined into one challenge. Or I'm just removing people who don't commit to the full time. And the third thing that I like about it is it adds an element of peer pressure, because if, say, we're all 12 of us are in this challenge group, right? And Emily's the only one who opted in for free, and she's not willing to upgrade to a challenge pack. And I say, hey, Emily, I'm so sorry, but the first week of this is over and the rest of the content is just for paid challengers. She's going to be like, oh my God, I got to know these women. I don't want to leave them. And she's going to be more willing to upgrade. So I like that element of peer pressure too. And you can totally share that with your team. I have a graphic for it too I could share with you guys. But it's not a specific workout. We're just doing, it's called Love Your Selfie. It's just, you pick your workout, your program. If you only want to do Shakeology, that's fine. Or Beachbody On Demand. So it's a multi-program challenge group that's got tiered levels for participating. And I've done this in the past too, and it's worked out really well. But long term, and we're going to wrap this up pretty quickly here because it's been 40 minutes. But long term, you guys need to think about yourselves as business owners in the network marketing community. And network marketing is more than just Success Club points and challenge packs. Okay, so we teach that a lot. It's what Success Club is built on. But I have a coach on my team. She's never hit Success Club. But since she became a coach in October, she's made $150 a month just selling workout programs and the Beachbody On Demand. And for some coaches, they would think, oh my God, I never hit Success Club. I'm a failure. I'm never going to be good at this. But October, November, December, January, she's made $600 without a single Success Club point. And that is what network marketing is about. It's about, first of all, the immediate commission from being a sales distributor, and then it's about the longevity of a team cycle bonus from growing a team. So if you can think about other ways to involve people in what you're doing besides just a challenge pack, then you are going to gain their trust and business long term, and you're going to make some quick commission. So if you're hosting a 21-day group and you have somebody who can't afford a challenge pack, you say, hey, cool, you know what? The first program I ever did was the 21-day fix. It taught me how to eat the right amount of portions, and the workouts were great because they were 30 minutes or less. Obviously, I want you to get the challenge pack because I believe so much in Shakeology, but I know that your husband just lost his job. Did you know that you can participate by just getting the $59 program or just getting Beachbody On Demand? Right? You want people to start experiencing the value of what we do in our programs so that they can fall in love with the products and fall in love with you as a coach. And then eventually, if you can make them fall in love with what you do and your groups and see that the products work, they will eventually become like lifelong Shakeology company lovers. But you have to sometimes give them value to grab a hold of before they're willing to make the investment. And this is just my approach. I've been coaching for 3.5 years, and not everybody approaches their business the same way. But I know what it's like to be a single income family who doesn't have enough money to drive 4 hours, put like an extra $70 in their SUV to visit family. So I literally didn't have an extra $70 or $140 to buy a challenge pack. So I really like to date my people. I like to gain their trust, and I like to show them the value of working with me. And then I know that eventually I'll transition them to a larger purchase, like a challenge pack or a coach account. Does that make sense? Okay, did anybody on this call come into the company without a challenge pack? No? Everybody did? Okay. So I don't want to dissuade you from that, because a challenge pack is always the best value, and that's what you need to tell your customers. But when they can't afford it, and you come back to them and say, you know what? I get it. I've been there. I remember, what it was like to be having a heart attack over the cost of Christmas, and December is only 2 months behind us. So why don't you get rolling? I'll let you do the first 10 days of this next group with me with just a sampler pack. And can you commit to $35? Right? You want people to learn to work with you, and that you really do have their health and their health goals at the deepest core of your heart. Because if they can feel that from you, then eventually they'll spend the money. And that's why I worked with Tracy. Jessica borrowed DVDs and it took her a month, and then she finally bought it. Yeah, I mean, it's expensive, and people don't want to spend the money. It's hard for women especially to prioritize themselves ever. Like, if you have kids, you feel a sense of guilt for spending any money that's not on your children or immediate family. And so that's something you have to be able to realistically talk about. And when I purchased my first challenge pack, it was on a credit card that I had found in an old crossbody purse from college. I didn't even know it was still an active card until I went to make my T25 challenge pack purchase. And thank God it worked. $225 I was able to hide from my husband and like pay off over time on this like age-old credit card. And that's like literally my story. And it's the same story that a lot of the women you're talking to will have. So approaching them with like grace and empathy and, hey, where are you at now? I'm going to meet you there, and we're going to work with you to get to here. And then, of course, sprinkling on the tough love when you need it, because there are these like super annoying customers who say they can't afford Shakeology, and then they buy like 8 pairs of LuLaRoe leggings, and you're just like, who are you? You can't be my friend anymore. But it's just balance. It's like it's just about balance and grace, and what can you give to people all the time. That's what you have to be thinking about. What can I give to this person right now? Is it, hey, that's cool, I hear you. You know, January is a really expensive month. I'm going to give you this recipe that I just made my family on Wednesday night, and they loved it. It was so easy, I thought I'd pass it along. Encouragement, make sure that you're not following other coaches so that you can actually follow people you want to work with and give them like love in the news feed. What else? Biggest tips. How about this? Okay, we'll wrap with this. Why don't you guys share? I'm going to call on a couple of you. Emily, what was your biggest takeaway from Rock Basics? And Emily Brown, like, what did you, or like smacked you in the face? Like, oh my God, I love that lesson, and that's totally going to help me change my business.
I think mostly just all of the calls about being authentic and just being real with them and being who you are. That's something that's taken me a little bit of time to develop, and I'm still working on it. So I think that's my biggest takeaway.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, that's a work in progress for everyone, but it's like the most important one. Let's see, Nicolette, what about you? What was your biggest, like, I love that lesson, I'm applying it, it made total sense to me?
Mainly just being authentic and being a model of the product. I mean, I've already been showing a lot of people what I've accomplished in the last 21 days, and they're actually excited and surprised.
Cool. Yeah, no. In November and December, my business exploded, and it was simply because I did core to force, start to finish both months. Like, there cannot be enough said for doing a program start to finish. Amanda Rayner, what about you? What's your biggest aha from the lesson?
Having to invite. I have to invite more. I always basically talk myself out of it. I'm like, oh, they're going to have this excuse or this excuse, but I just have to invite. I can't take it personal. It's not me they're saying no to. It's just like, hey, can you come to this birthday party? No, we can't. Okay, we're still friends. Like, so I just got to invite more.
Yeah, no, exactly. And the inviting thing is really only a hang up women have. Because if you guys went to Target and they were having like a buy one, get 2 free shoe sale, you would tell your friends about it, and you don't care how much they go spend at Target.
Exactly.
Or, yeah, if your son had a diaper rash and the like best cream on the market was $50, you would still talk about it. But the minute that you somehow gain something in the transaction, you start to feel guilty, and that's not something men feel. So everybody's like marching on Washington this week, right? Talking about empowering women. And we shoot ourselves in the foot because we feel guilty for actually gaining something for helping people. And men don't feel that way. So I don't know why women waste their time feeling that way either. If you have a product that you love, that you know works, you have an obligation to share it. And if you don't share it, like think about it, if I don't share this, I am being a bad friend. If I truly think about how much Beachbody has changed my life, not just physically, but financially, and allowed our family to do stuff, like me not sharing it is withholding something from my friends, and I am being a shitty person for not talking about it and letting my own insecurities get in the way. So invite with confidence, and if they say no, thank you. I mean, it's just not for not now. When we were recruiting, when we were in Alpena, it was because my husband was recruiting for the Marine Corps, and it's really hard to find people to join the Marine Corps when you live in a town of retired people. And he would get so beat up. Like for 2 years, I watched him come home just like in the state of depression, because he would make 100 phone calls a day and no one would show up for their appointment, or the kid who said he was going to join would go to the Army, and Brandon would be like just so downtrodden, distressed. And I would say to him, they're not saying no to you. It's just like literally being a Marine does not fit their lifestyle right now. It's not a personal attack on you. And I think that the fact that I had spent so much time telling him that before ever becoming a coach gave me an edge, because I can hear the word no and no, it's not about me. They're just not ready for it yet. And the same is true for you guys. So we'll do one more. Allison, you've been so like patient and quiet, and I love your cute scarf. So what's been your biggest takeaway this month?
I would just say probably sharing, just like we were talking about, just sharing what you're doing. That's the main important thing that I'm going to keep working on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that, we've been at this for an hour, but literally you guys are going to see a lot of stuff on social media where you're going to hear no, or you're going to get frustrated with how poorly a challenge group goes, and you're going to start to doubt yourself. But if you can just like tattoo it on your brain that I will be here a year from now and I don't have to be the best, I just have to outlast everyone else who's going to quit, then you're going to be successful. Because the bottom is crowded, like Trina always says. 1.0 Zooms are crowded. But when you get to 3.0 Zooms, there's not that many people there, right? There's so much room at the top. And they're like, coaching is such a wide open playing field. If I had time to tell you more about like my story and my own shortcomings, you would see that there is nothing that makes me any different than any one of you guys. I was like that brand new coach on a 1.0 call thinking, oh, the speaker, like, yeah, it worked for her, but I don't know, she must have figured something out or got in early. And it's not the case. You guys can do this too. Like every single one of you can. And you have the greatest team, Team Rockstar Fit, as your cheerleaders. So just take courage in knowing that building a business is not easy, but it's worth it, and everybody can do it. So let's get a quick group picture, because I know Trina's going to want to see it. I love these Zooms for Rock the Basics. You guys, rock the basics. Seriously, if it weren't for this training, I wouldn't be where I am today. So, okay. I have my like little camera ready to go. So everyone like look cute for a second, and I'll count to 3 and we'll get a photo. I'll wait till, okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. You guys are awesome. And I want to see you on 2.0. So make sure you sign up for next month, and congrats for being the graduating class. Just give yourself a hand. Cool. Well, good night, you guys.